Boston Celtics head coach Joe Mazzulla has a team rule that everybody contests shots, even after the whistle. Players, coaches, everybody. So Mazzulla led by example when he sprinted to prevent Phoenix's Royce O'Neal from dropping in a practice basket heading to a timeout. It made for a viral clip.
I hadn't made one. I didn't want him to feel good about himself going to the bench. Gary asked me about that a month ago, and that's the bench rule. Guys don't shoot shots in front of our bench to go back to their bench to feel good about themselves. If I'm going to ask the guys to contest, the staff's got to do the same.
Just Joe being Joe, Jason Tatum said. Jaylen Brown scored 37 points, Tatum added 26 as the Boston Celtics powered past the Phoenix Suns 127-112 on Thursday night, becoming the first team in the NBA to clinch a spot in the postseason. Al Horford finished with 24 points, including 6 of Boston's season-high-tying 25 three-pointers to help the Celtics beat the Suns for the second time in a week. Boston improved to an NBA best 52-14 on the season and 10-2 in the second game of a back-to-back. The Celtics are currently on a 4-game winning streak as well. Before we continue on, guys, do me a solid, smack that like button and smash that subscribe button down below for more Celtics content just like this. In 10 games since the All-Star break, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have both been performing on another level. Brown has put up 28.9 points, 6 rebounds, and 3.6 assists, shooting at 54% from the field and 40.6% from 3, as the two have propelled the Celtics to the best record in the league and winners of 15 of their last 17 games. Tatum, he is averaging 26.5 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 5.4 assists, shooting at 44.3% from 3. And of course, he finds himself in the MVP conversation. But it's been Jaylen Brown who has had his foot on the gas as of late, leading the way with 33 points per game in his last 4 contests to go with 7 rebounds while shooting at 52%. The All-NBA wing has now recorded the 6th most games in the league with 30 points, shooting over 60%. Brown and Tatum, they are showing that they're clicking right now. Their leadership, the way they're complimenting each other at an all-time high level. Tatum and Brown, they are showing growth in picking opposing schemes apart. And Brown, in particular, he has really just excelled and showing people a part of his game that we hadn't seen before. As Brown, a lot of Celtics fans have noticed it, but now the NBA world is starting to notice that Jaylen Brown looks like a legitimate top 10 player. And Brown, he is showing no signs whatsoever of slowing down. And he's coming off a 37-point performance against the Suns. Jaylen Brown over his last 5 games, 30.6 points, 6.2 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 50% from the field, 37% from 3 in those games. As Brown looking like a top 10 player, a guy who you can count on as your team's focal point, as the guy in crunch time to turn to. You got Tatum, who's been having an MVP type season, and then you got this supporting cast that is just unbelievable. You know, guys like Derek White, Horford, Porzingis. The Boston Celtics are going to be tough to stop, and when they're clicking on all cylinders, they're just too much to handle. They're too much to contain. They are simply overpowering, and this new element of Jaylen Brown's game is making the Boston Celtics just a lot more powerful. Now, before we continue on with this video, guys, I do want to talk to you guys about today's video sponsor, and that is BetUS. And with my bet, I'm looking at the NBA Coach of the Year for the 2023-2024 season. And guys, I really like this bet. Joe Mazzulla plus 550. Put $100 on that. You win 550. I am putting this bet in. Tail it with me if you feel good about it. I mean, I think Mazzulla is going to have a great chance to win NBA Coach of the Year. I know Mark Dagnall has been having a great season with the Thunder, but I'm putting my money on Joe. And Joe officially won me over when he had that attempted block at Royce O'Neal. So I am betting on Joe Mazzulla. You guys can get in on the action as well, as BetUS will give you an 125% bonus not only on your first deposit, but on your first 3 deposits up to $2,500 with the promo code JOIN125. So if you guys want to help me in the channel, join BetUS today.
BetUS, America's favorite sports book, where you can bet on everything anytime. Sportsbook, live betting, and casino. To celebrate 30 years in business, we have the best bonuses in the industry. Get a 125% sign-up bonus and up to 30 risk-free bets. So what are you waiting for? Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.
So the Boston Celtics, to me, they seem to be on a collision course with the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, that's a team that they have been unable to beat, but the Boston Celtics have not had a problem with anybody else in the NBA. This is a team that is just superior to the competition, and they're going to be tough to beat. And this is a different team than a season ago. You know, anytime you're adding in a prime Drew Holiday, a prime Kristaps Porzingis, the Boston Celtics, they have arguably the best five. They definitely have the top six in the NBA when it comes to their rotation. And, you know, you look at the Eastern Conference for the Celtics, they're going to get the 1 seed. Very, very comfortable lead over the Bucks. They have a 9.5 game lead over the Bucks. So if you want to deny Boston a trip to the NBA Finals, you're going to have to beat them in their house. Obviously, the Celtics had home court advantage last season, could have get it done. But this team, this version of the Celtics, they just feel different, man. And they're going to be tough to stop in the East as they look to get to the NBA Finals, and maybe it is a matchup against the Denver Nuggets. I would not complain about that Finals matchup, but the difference this time around could very well be the emergence of Jaylen Brown. Look for Jaylen Brown to continue to play at this high level, and I look for Brown to be the guy the Celtics turn to in crunch time. Obviously, Jason Tatum, for as great of a player as he is, he does have that rep of being a guy who hasn't been able to be clutch, consistent enough to get, you know, the recognition around the league like some of the other clutch time performers. Can Jaylen Brown end up being the number one guy? And Tatum, I mean, he seems like a player who would have no issues with that, taking the back seat, doing what's in best interest of the team, as long as it results in winning games. And obviously for the Celtics team, they just want to win a championship. It is championship or bust for this Celtics squad. So they had the couple of losses there, you know, a heartbreaker against Cleveland. They lost to the Nuggets again, but just like that, the Celtics back on their high horse, 4 in a row, 8-2 in their last 10. They are 30-3 at home, so going back to the Celtics having home court advantage throughout not only the East, but the entirety of the playoffs, that's going to be huge for a team that has only lost 3 times total at home. So this Boston Celtics team, they are scary, and we are going to see the best version of this team come playoff time. Let me know your thoughts on the Celtics team, guys. Do you think they have what it takes to get it done this season? Hit a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. That is it for me. It's Lucas signing off. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next video.